just so that I can see the chat.
What's shaking, everybody? It's your boy King of the Golden State coming at you with another episode 2 of Top 10 Live. That is your own personal top 10 list of any comic related, material to that's come out. So, I haven't even turned on the chat, but I'm sure my guest is already well ahead of me on the and I hear feedback. That's awesome.
Yeah, okay, so I muted it. We're all comic fans in the chat already. So
awesome. I haven't had a chance to look, but I will in a minute. But I just want to let you know we're talking about Bronze Age comics, your own personal top 10 list of Bronze Age comics. I got mine, and so does my guest. My guest comes from America's Hat, aka Canada, everyone's favorite Canuck, also known as Fourway Flashers. Mr. Flashers, if you could please introduce yourself to the crowd.
Hello, everyone. I am Fourway Flashers. You may know me as Fourway Flashers in comics, Mike, or Fourway Flashers, but that's who I am. I've got my haul videos. I used to be on All About Comics with Gene Paul Ace Peter, Comic Fan, Disputed Frost way back in the day. That's long and buried. Someone has already taken over our name. We've trodden over our reputation, but everything is all good. You never know what's going to happen in the future. Maybe we're going to do all About Comics, an all Canadian show. You never know what's going to happen.
Oh man, that's awesome. Well, sir, I do welcome you to the show. I mean, we put our differences aside.
Just for today, it's a ceasefire. It's a truce.
It's a total ceasefire, man. It's total. Glad to have you on the show. So yes, once again, this is your weekly show, and this is what is going to happen pretty much on. I'm gonna try to do most Sundays. That's what we can do, but I like to have a guest and like wrap back and forth and talk about my personal top 10 and also my guest's personal top 10. So I figure I started from the top on down, not only from the top 10, but also from the top of the world, Canada, and bring a guest on by. So starting with what we were talking about, Bronze Age comic books. Before I start, let me see if I can pull people in the chat here. How dare I? Goodness gracious.
We're already at 4 people watching. I guess one of those is me.
It's funny. That's the reason. That's one of those things I saw that your video, and I was like, man, this is he's got a really cool stream going on, and you had some really good stuff. And the reason why I started to do Bronze Age was, for myself on this episode was, you had some pretty cool Bronze Age books, and I thought, there was one in particular I thought was really awesome. So,
spoiler alert, you may see those later today.
I'm fine with that. There's nothing wrong with, showing what you got. But I just want to say hello to people in the chat. Poor Man's Comics, what's up? Tats Comics, what's going on? Comic Fan, good to see you. Count Von Strange, love that name, man. Count Von Strange is an awesome name. As an underrated name for a lot of people,
it's Count Von Strange the 4th.
Oh,
so, even better, right?
Excuse me. It's all good, but going back to Bronze Age, like I saw on your video, it was really cool, and they, it made me think back to when I was younger, collecting Bronze Age books. They, the cover prices for those books were no more than 50 cents. They were like 30 cents, 35 cents, 45 cents. And those are some of the best times in comics. There's some good times, don't get me wrong, in other eras of comic books, but like Bronze Age had some really good appearances of like Swamp Thing, Nova, you got, Wolverine, Punisher. Those are some badass characters that continue to stick around in comics today, despite their incarnations,
Absolutely. And the cool thing about the Bronze Age was it was basically the changeover period from when all the old guard artists like Kirby and Dick Ayers, all those guys were kind of being shoved out, and all the new guys like oh my god, the names escape me now.
Mr.
Ty. What the hell's his name now?
Say again?
Neil Adams. Why couldn't I remember Neil Adams? Guys like Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil, all this new young blood was coming in, so they took a whole new different take on the comics, and so the stories were getting a little bit darker, a little more grittier. So it was a really good time for comics.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, like, I totally agree with you. Like, you know, Neil Adams back then was pretty much like, if you compare to current day artists, probably a Jim Lee, if you think about it, or Rob Liefeld. Well, not Liefeld. Dare I say that? Striking my record. But you know, a popular artist now, and you know, I mean, like Kirby was in that Bronze Age for a little bit. Well, for the most part, but you know, Kirby was around for, I would say, a chunk until at some point. I'm not sure when he retired, but he was around the Bronze Age as well.
His Bronze Age work was mainly with DC. Like that's what his Bronze Age stuff is kind of known for. The New Gods and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Funky Flashman was quite the thing. But but yeah, guys, without further ado, let me start off with my number 10 of my top 10 from the Bronze Age, which I think, you know, like honestly, no matter what I put up, it's going to be somebody's number 1 or it's going to be somebody's number 4 or 3, because there's so much in the Bronze Age that, you know, you can't just fit in a top 10 list, you know. But
I'm curious to see if we have any crossover, because I haven't seen your books yet. So
really?
You haven't seen mine, so.
Well, I may have seen one of them, that's for sure. Now, this one is my number 10, and it's not much of a crazy key in a way, but for me, this is one of the biggest Bronze Age books, which I can still get copies of over and over again because I love this cover. Now, always get a copy of this and always get a sign by the writer, which is this copy right here of X-Men 137.
Nice.
And that is, of course, the death of Jean Grey. And this is just, you know, I love this cover. It's a very iconic cover. And John Byrne's done some great runs, and he's also done some not so great runs. So like for example, this is a great run. Wonder Woman was not a great run. That was a terrible run. So as bad as Wonder Woman was, this was so good. You know, I mean, I can't give him all the credit. I want to give Dave Cockrum some credit, but you know, because Cockrum is a great artist as well, but Byrne followed pretty much after him.
Yeah,
and did a kick-ass job on X-Men. But I just think this cover is such an iconic cover. But we'll come back to that at some point. So good that I actually got 2 copies.
There you go.
Like I said, I mean, you can't go wrong with, you know, John Byrne on almost any issue of X-Men. But I'm gonna kick over the 10 over to you, sir, if you don't mind showing what you got.
It. All right. So my first book here is a classic 70s team up. Power Man and Iron Fist number 50, Heroes for Hire. You got the Luke Cage, you've got Iron Fist. 70s were an awful lot about team ups, I found. Like a lot of guys were teaming up. You had Green Arrow and Green Lantern teaming up. You had Power Man and Iron Fist teaming up, because both of them came from their own individual books previously. I love reading Power Man books. I've got a pretty good run of Power Man books going, and then all the way up into the Iron Fist. So I love reading them. They're I don't know that they hold up great as far as all of the stories go. Some of them are still pretty good. This one in particular, great book. The art, it doesn't hold up as well, but just the significance of the book itself, it makes it my number 10 pick.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Honestly, Power Man Iron Fist, that actual particular issue, I may have told you this before, but it's one of my first comic books. Like I picked it up. Actually, my parents gave it to me as a kid, so it was one of those things that back in the day when I was just like, whatever, you know, I had no toys to play with. I see in that comic you have, I was like, man, it totally brings back memories, because, you know, I just remember having a bunch of junk comic books, but there's always that Power Man Iron Fist issue that stuck out to me. I always loved it. It was like Iron Fist, you got Power Man, and it's just, you know, I always thought that was just a cool comic. And I had my Luke Cage, but I sold it, you know, but I still have my Iron Fist first appearance, which is making a whole bunch of money these days after the show.
Yeah, now that it's all done.
No, yeah, it's all done. It's not making anything, dude. But yeah, going to my number 9 issue, and this is one I always wanted to get upgraded at some point, is my number 9 issue, first appearance of New Teen Titans. Oh, not first New Teen Titans, but first Deathstroke. And this is one which I thought, this is a really kick-ass George Perez cover, which I really dug. And you can't go wrong with it. You really can't go wrong with it. I mean, there's still a crap load of copies of these out there these days where you can still get them for a decent price. I forgot where I saw somewhere on Instagram where somebody was actually selling. Somebody, I think I know. Somebody on Instagram who's selling a 9/8 copy with it's signed by Perez and Wolfman, and it's like, I think it was like $500 or something like that. And I thought that was a good deal. So, love the first appearance of Deathstroke, because what came from this? Well, unfortunately, you had your first Deadpool, first, Wade Wilson as opposed to Slade Wilson, but still, nothing can beat the original. I love this stuff. Number 9.
Very good. My number 9 book. You had mentioned earlier about how the Bronze Age books were no more than 50 cents. This one seems to be an exception to the rule. It cuts it close. It's the tail end of the Bronze Age. It's a John Byrne classic, and because I'm Canadian, I felt I had to show it.
Dude, that cuts it close.
Alpha Flight number 1.
Dude.
And I find this book is often underrated. He wrote and drew the book. Came up with a ton of great characters. A lot of them have got like kind of kitschy Canadian themes. You got Shaman, you got Snowbird. Obviously, Guardian has got the Canadian suit on, but the stories up until he did his run up until issue 25, I believe, and it's a great run from 1 to 25. You should check it out if you get a chance. They're ridiculously cheap to pick up, but this one is my number 9 Bronze Age pick. And it looks like we might have. You're back now.
There he is. Oh, was that me or you? It must have been me.
It was. I think it was you.
Oh, so is Alpha Flight. So
Alpha Flight. Yeah. Hey man, I dig it. It was one of the ones that I read when I was a kid a lot. So. Yeah, it looks like he's frozen up again. So I'm just going to go through some of the chat here and say what's up. We've got Dave Enrique says Marvel and Byrne are trying to work out a deal where he does stories of the X-Men where he left off. Check out the forum. He shows a few more pages that he's done. That sounds pretty wild. Stacy's weekly comic book picks. Hello to you. Marvel took some big chances in the Bronze Age. They took a big gamble on titles such as a Dazzler. That's absolutely true, comic fan. What else we got here? Gomez, the comic collector, is in the house. How you doing? Did I miss someone there? Hialeah Comic Bro. What's up, brother? Nice to see you here. C. Woodard 19, gonna get my new Teen Titans number 144 double signed this month. This is the year to do it because Perez is retiring at the end of the year, I guess. So I don't know if he's retiring from conventions completely or not, but yeah, it's a good time to do it. What do we got here? Doing great to see you. Tat has the same book, Alpha Flight number 1. This is I love the book, man. So looks like we got King back. So no, we don't. Yeah. So Perez is going to be at the Niagara Falls Comic Con this year. So I think I'm going to go try and see him. I was talking with Comic Fan not too long ago, and we were talking about maybe getting a piece of artwork done from him. The more and more I see his con sketches, the more I'm thinking an autograph might suffice. So far, in our top 10 here, we had Power Man and Iron Fist for me. And then we had Alpha Flight #1. And King of the Golden States were X-Men Death of Phoenix and Teen Titans #2, the first appearance of Deathstroke. Stacey Weekly Comic Book Picks has old Captain Canuck comics. You're from Calgary? Awesome. I hear they have a pretty good convention out there in Calgary. I'd like to go there one time. So Captain Canuck as well. He's always there at all the Canadian conventions. Richard Comley is his name, and he's a Bronze Age as well. So if I'm not mistaken, there we go.
Whoa, he's back. I don't know what the hell happened. That was weird.
You'll have to go back and watch the replay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Here I am sweating, going, "Oh, how am I going to carry this show by myself?"
I know, no. I was able to recover, rebound, and everything. He's back, everybody. He's back. He's back. That was weird, but yes, Alpha Flight. That was great.
Honestly, Alpha Flight is an underloved comic. It's all. That's where I stand. Number 9.
Number nine. Let's move on before we lose connection. It's too damn funny. All right.
What's going on, Jeff Johnson?
Oh, yeah. I knew I smelt an intern, Jeff Johnson. Mr. Jeff Johnson. Going on to my number 7.
8.
8. Thank you.
Number 8.
Sorry,
Let's not jump the gun here. Come on.
I'm trying to make sure the connection don't go off. Boom. Ghost Rider Origin, first appearance. Got Marvel Spotlight #5. Beautiful, beautiful cover. I believe Mike Plug did this one. And, yeah.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yep, Mr. Mike Plug. And this is a really cool cover, and I really dug this. And, as far as number 8, and I think this is personally, my opinion, a bigger thing than like Death of Jean Grey or also the first appearance of Deathstroke, in the Bronze Age. You got first Ghost Rider. So I love, I used to, when I first collected Ghost Rider, it was the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. And then after learning more about the character, like Johnny Blaze, I actually like Johnny Blaze even more.
Yeah,
so,
he's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I always loved this character, and it was always one of those characters. This is like a book for me to consider my untouchable pile, because I just love this blue cover, and it's a badass cover. But that's neither here nor there.
That and Ghost Rider #1 are very similar in covers, but they're both fantastic.
They are. I mean, if they could only just make a damn good movie about it that doesn't have Nicolas Cage in it, and not waste Idris Elba on the sequel, then something great. But yes, this is my number 8. Number 8 is an awesome, awesome cover of Ghost Rider. First Ghost Rider in the Marvel Spotlight, number 5. So that is my number 8.
All right, my number 8. I'm pretty sure that I will not be getting Amazing Spider-Man #1. So the first Spider-Man in a title is going to be a hard one to get. But if you're looking for a better alternative, you've got Spectacular Spider-Man #1.
Still number 1.
This is his second series there. Great book. Spawned quite a few good stories out of there. You had the Cloak and Dagger line. Craven's Last Hunt was part of it. This is the book that started it all. I really like the cover. I always get this one confused with the Amazing Spider-Man with Tarantula on the cover. I forget what number that is, but
yeah,
this is a good one to have. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah, because I know what you're talking about with the other Amazing Spider-Man, because I always got those two confused. And, for me personally, I'm not a crazy Spectacular Spider-Man guy. Like, I think what got me into Spectacular Spider-Man was like Sal Buscema's work later in the title. And, yeah. But no, I mean, I love the whole Tarantula, Spider-Man rivalry that happened over the years. But yeah, man, that's awesome number 8. Awesome, without a doubt.
Better than Alpha Flight.
That's right, eh? That's right. All right. Number 7, guys. Now, like I've said earlier, you can't have Bronze Age without Neil Adams. And for me, this one I really, really dig. This one was Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and it's Neil Adams, little Neil Adams goodness. And this thing's been cover swiped a couple times by different artists. And this is where it starts for me. I mean, I'm not a crazy fan of either one, but I know iconic stuff when I see it. And this is definitely an iconic cover, in my opinion, by Neil Adams.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of people consider this to be one of the first Bronze Age books as well, when it made its switch over.
Yeah.
Because again, you had the team up factor, you had things kind of going dark in that series where Green Lantern and Green Arrow kind of get exposed to different things like drugs and just poverty and stuff like that. Takes a lot darker tone. Neil Adams starts in the book. Denny O'Neil starts in the book. New blood, new direction.
Yeah, you speaking of what you were saying, it's like I almost considered putting up that drug issue actually over this one, because there was a lot more going on in that cover, which I thought was really awesome. Because but this one I think is like you were saying, it's the beginning, and Neil Adams, he's done so much shit, and I really dug it. Like I got nothing against Neil Adams personally. I like the fact that he's done so much shit over the years that maybe he deserves to charge people at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, you're making you're making money for your retirement. And, like he didn't back in the day. Like people like Neil Adams probably didn't make the kind of money that like a Lee or a Larson or a McFarlane makes. I mean, like some people give him shit for charging for like all kinds of shit he has there, and it's like it's merchandise. Let him do what he wants to do, and it's fine.
Well, and in the end, people are paying for it, so he can keep doing it. If people stop paying for it, he'll stop charging prices for it. So
it's true. It's true. Yeah. He's still, honestly, I'll still go to Neil Adams' table, even though I poke fun at oh yeah, he charges for every single thing. I'll still go to a table and still buy and get some design from him. Hell, I even took a picture from him. He charged me for that. It's like, all right, that's fine, whatever. I mean, I get where you're coming from. But yeah, going back to this. This is my number 7, and I'm going to kick it over to you, sir.
All right. My number 7. So earlier in the stream, I talked about Kirby had gone over to DC for the Bronze Age. Well, Kirby returned back to Captain America in the Bronze Age, and he produced this super book right here. This is Captain America 200. The bicentennial issue. It's fantastic. I mean, I'll say this every time. Every cover Kirby has done has been a dynamic cover, right?
Right.
There's always action going on in it. I can be critical of his work too. Like you've got the vacant stare of Cap there. I don't know what it was about eyes that kind of confused Kirby. But other than that, like everything else though, man, like the shadowing, the coloring, just the poses, everything is great about that. Story itself, fairly good for a Bronze Age book. It still holds up. I got this one as a Chris Kringle gift or whatever you call him, Secret Santa. And I was so stoked to get it. You can find that one. Here's peeping out my channel back in the Drunk Cast of 2017. Christmas Drunk Cast. Look it up.
Oh yeah. You've had a couple of off airs where I've seen you like passed out drunk. Like that's neither here nor there. I'm not gonna get into that. But you've had some epic ones without a doubt.
There was an epic one. I remember that. Yeah.
Like I said. Now going back to the Spider-Man, especially because right now going to number 6 here, guys. For me, this is actually a 2-parter. It's hard. I want to throw this one in, but I'm gonna stick to the format right now because this one is actually a 2-parter, and I got to go with this one.
Okay,
and that is Amazing Spider-Man 1, 121. That is, if I recall, the first death in pretty much any comic book. Is
first big Uncle Ben.
All right, first, all right. You want all right? We it's a you know, it's back and forth in that one because yeah, Uncle Ben, I'll give you that one. But I mean, as far as like you know, as far as ongoing series, you know, if they're gonna
an ongoing character, yes,
yeah, ongoing character, yeah. I mean, spoiler alert to those who haven't read it, Gwen Stacy dies. And, you know, I mean, you're about 30, 40 years too late if you haven't read this, but yes, this is the death of Gwen Stacy. And of course, the next issue after that, we all know is the death of Green Goblin if you haven't read it. But this is one of my favorite covers, man. This is like, I know it's number 6, and again, I said every comic book is like really, every comic book in this list could easily be a number 1 in any list. This one right here is my number 6, and it's just a great cover because there's so much tension in this. It's like somebody's going to die in this comic book who's an ongoing character who's been on the title for a long time. Gee, golly, who is it? You know, I mean, you can spoil it yourself and go to the last page and be like, oh no. But yes, Amazing Spider-Man 121, number 6, John Romita action here. This is some great stuff. Yeah, 5.5, whatever. But yeah, I've seen higher grades. But still, this is definitely one of my favorite covers, especially like I said, by John Romita. Kills it, just kills it.
And then people were calling that one out in the chat a little bit earlier as well, saying that was one of the first considered Bronze Age books as well. So
yeah, agreed. But anyway, yeah, number 6. Always keep it that way. Means if this is number 6, then God, there must be some better books coming up, man. My friend.
My number 6 book that I love a lot is Iron Fist number 14. It's the first appearance of Sabretooth.
Oh,
and so we were talking earlier about Claremont and Byrne having some good books together. This Iron Fist run of Claremont and Byrne is fantastic. Sabretooth, of course, is synonymous now with Wolverine, but before that, he was there with Iron Fist, duking it out in quite a few books before. I'm trying to remember the first time Sabretooth and Wolverine actually tangled in the comic books. It must have been like in the 200
yeah, it was like
200 of the X-Men, right?
Yeah, I forgot. I think of either 210 or 211.
Something like that, yeah. And Wolverine kind of made him popular, but if not for Iron Fist, we wouldn't have such a great character. And I love his solo stories. Sabretooth, I have that little miniseries that they did of him, and I think that they did an origin run. I know that they did it for Wolverine, and I can't remember if they did one for Sabretooth as well. I'll have to check that out because
yeah, I don't remember that. I'm not exactly either. I mean, like, dude, I know they had a miniseries for for Sabretooth by Texiera, which is so awesome.
Yeah,
I still have that one. I got that signed by Texiera from years ago when it first came out. But yeah, Sabretooth you can't go wrong with, not at all.
And I also showed this one. I would have put this one number 1 because I know that I have it and Gene Paul's Peter does not, and that makes it the most important Bronze Age book in my collection. So, but number six in terms of importance.
Number 6, huh? All right. Well, I mean, for me, I gotta say, in terms of importance, you're a little close. Number 5. This is number 5 for me.
Hey, there you go. See?
I know I thought that, but yeah, I loved Claremont when he wrote stuff that wasn't X-Men, especially when it involves a character like Sabretooth. This is one of those things I thought, all right, this character is a hot character, and check your book, man. Check the price. Like if it's a 35-cent variant, it's worth a lot more.
Yeah, I know. Mine's just a 30.
Yeah, I know, me too, man. So we're shit out of luck. But I mean, yeah, I love this cover. And the only thing that disappoints me about Sabretooth in this is the fact that you don't see more Sabretooth Iron Fist, fights. I mean, sometimes they just do it just to get readers, and it just it kind of bums me out. But
when they did the legacy numbering for the Iron Fist book that came out, I think the first story was him and Sabretooth, and there wasn't very much fun. There was a little bar fight, and after that they were kind of teaming up. It was just I like him better as a villain.
Yeah, no, it's a bummer, man. I really wanted more of like a Sabretooth, like Iron Fist thing, and as some people, I mean, like it would be cool if they had something like this in the TV series. I would have loved that. Like give me some cheap like person who could play Sabretooth, and it probably would have made the show a little bit better. Maybe it probably would have saved the show. I don't know, but other than that, but that's if they got the X-Men rights. That's the thing that sucks. Is if they had the rights, if Marvel got the rights to the X-Men back, which they eventually will, this would be more heavier.
When Iron Fist eventually moves over to the Disney Channel or whatever they're calling it, you're gonna see Iron Fist versus Sabretooth. I guarantee it.
I would love it. Sometime in my lifetime, I would like to see that. This is my number 5. As crazy as it sounds, this is definitely number 5. My friend. On to you.
My number 5, again, another Claremont book, but this one is not Byrne. I don't believe it's Byrne. I'm pretty sure it's Cockrum. It is X-Men number 109.
Cockrum.
The first appearance of the Guardian. Anytime you get two awesome Canadians on a cover, especially in the Bronze Age, you got to be in my top 10. This one was a gift to me from my good friend Comic Fan. I love the story of how they kind of integrated into Logan's life. How when he was done with the Weapon X program, Jim Hudson and Heather Hudson found Logan, and they kind of brought him back to humanity. So they kind of play a really big role in the Logan story, which is always another good one of mine. So I like this one a lot. X-Men 109, great cover, great story. And it looks like we've lost the King of the Golden State again. So I'm going to go into the chat a little bit. Tat has left. So goodbye, Tat. AG Surfer, Neil Adams helped Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel get some of the rights back for Superman. Absolutely. He did a lot of good work for them. Poor Man's Comics needs to read some older comics, apparently. I think everyone, their uncle knows that Gwen Stacy is dead. Just messing there. Gene Paulus Peters in the house. He says the first death of a beloved character and probably the most effed up decision people had to make. Yep. Jerry Conway didn't want to kill Gwen Stacy. Stan was in Europe when Marvel made the decision to kill her off. You'll be getting my Iron Fist number 14, Gene Paulus Peter. It's in the mail right now. Just wait for it. Who else do we have here? Pop.comics has joined us. How you doing? It is a Byrne issue. So thank you, Dave Enrique. And is Captain Canuck a Bronze Age book? I believe it is. It would have been in the tail end of the Bronze Age.
I feel like it was a copper.
Yeah, like I said, it would have been like 85. I think 85 is considered the cutoff for Bronze Age. Yeah. So it would have been somewhere in there. Yeah. But yeah, 109. That is my number 5 pick.
Dude, that one, didn't they recreate that one like for Alpha Flight? One of the issues on Alpha Flight.
Yes, they did. I think it's issue number 14, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, they totally. Yeah, I mean that one's definitely one of those. I thought, damn, it's so confusing. But yes, I'm back. I don't know what the hell's going on. It was weird, but maybe
must be raining in California, right?
Yeah, it's snowstorms and everything.
Yeah.
So can't be a Copper Age book without. This is pretty darn close to Copper Age. I'm sorry, Bronze Age. Pretty darn close to Silver Age on this next book. This is my number 4 book. Batman 227 got some more Neil Adams goodness, and I just love that cover. That is just an amazing cover. This is like borderline Silver Age. Like actually, this came out in the 70s, so this is like right there. So this is definitely one of those books I thought, man, this is an amazing, amazing cover by Neil Adams. I mean, it doesn't even look like something Neil Adams did, you know, and it's just pretty cool. So, yeah, got to go with Batman 227.
And that's an homage cover as well, right?
To Detective.
Yeah, I don't remember the number.
27. I believe it's 27.
Okay.
I'm sure I heard it in the chat.
Yeah. Dave Enrique. What number was that the homage? He'll get there.
He'll get there soon.
Yeah.
God, yeah. I mean, like this is definitely one of those issues I thought, man, so cool, just so cool, and it's always been on my all-time as a kid wanting to get on my list is like one day when I grow up, I'm gonna get this book, and lo and behold, got this. It's my number 4. Boom. On to you, sir.
All right. My number 4 book. Actually, I'll take it out of the top loader. It's Deathlock, Astonishing Tales featuring Deathlock number 25.
Ooh.
It's the first appearance of Deathlock. A great book. This is also Perez's first work at Marvel, George Perez. So kind of another small key about that. The story is very wordy. I have a hard time reading this book just for all of the words being used. It's very almost novelesque on the inside, but the cover is dynamic. I tend to like the one that follows this, the one with the red cover,
right?
2026, I guess it would be. But this one's iconic. You got him kind of being crucified on the X there. I don't know if you consider that to be homage. I know the X-Men did one where someone was crucified on an X in the 200s. But yeah, great book here.
That is a great cover. I mean, I wish they did more with Deathlock personally, as making him a better character. But it's just one of those things, man. I just kind of like, I don't know. It's like the Deathlock character is a cool character. You just need better writers for it. I mean, it's so, it's such a disappointment.
Yeah, and they totally didn't get him right on that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. either.
Yeah, I'm sure. I never bothered. I was like, I saw a picture of him and I was like, yeah, next, I'm good. Because I just knew when to say no. But going to my number 3.
Number 3. These are the big books now.
Yeah, I know. This one, I need to get slabbed. I've been meaning to get around to it. This is my second copy of it, and I've been jarbling around bullshitting. But number 3, first appearance of the Punisher, Amazing Spider-Man 129. This is one of my favorite all-time covers, and I don't know why. I think it's just the colors and the covers is so cool about it. It's like you got this angry guy, looking to kill Spider-Man, like not hurt him, but just kill him. He's got a receding hairline, and I can never look at the Punisher other than a receding hairline Punisher. Ever see like any kind of Punisher, I keep thinking he's got plugs on. Now he's it's like those. That's not his real hair, but I just love the Punisher. This is one of my favorite, one of my favorite Bronze Age books. Pretty much my number 3, but I just love it. But I just wish they could do more with this character and make him just if they could just make it like a trilogy of a movie for this character and just make him better. But I love the Punisher.
I like the Punisher more as a like kind of a side supporting character for a movie. I think he'd be great in a Punisher movie, not necessarily as a villain, kind of like how they did him in the Daredevil series. I thought he was great in there. I haven't actually seen the Netflix Punisher.
Yeah.
But the way that they had him there, it was perfectly used. He was just kind of like a foil to the hero, not quite the villain, not quite the good guy.
It's more like a utility kind of.
Yeah.
It's good to have a good utility supporting character like the Punisher. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I pick up what you're putting down. But yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, this is my number 3, and like I said, I mean, if there's ever a chance to get another one, I'll get another one every time because this is such a cool cover.
Very cool.
On to you, sir.
My number 3. I'm finally kicking out some Neil Adams here. This is the Batman 232. It's the first Ra's al Ghul. Another great cover. I'm starting to now I'm seeing a few of these classic Neil Adams covers. He's always got kind of a foreboding guy in the background with two guys kind of in pain, or one or two guys in pain in the foreground.
Right.
His use of the monochromatic on the Ra's al Ghul is pretty wild too. And this was still one that he was doing on the interiors in. So great book.
Yeah, I love that book. I got the book hanging around somewhere. I can't even find it right now. But I mean, like, yeah, I love that cover, man, because this is Batman and Robin, the Teen Wonder, which is kind of weird, but it's cool. And I love Neil Adams' work, man. Especially, like I said, Neil Adams kind of ruled, that time. And to do something like, Batman and Robin, especially a lot of Batman covers, or a lot of covers, period. That one definitely stands out, especially the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, who is another underused villain I find in Batman.
Yeah, or Green Arrow. Stop using our Batman villains in Green Arrow, damn it. Number 2, clearly, if it's not the Punisher, it's this guy. Your favorite Canuck. I gotta give him number 2. I can't give your Canuck a number 1.
Can't give him number 1.
No, it's dude. No, it has to be this guy. I love this character, Wolverine, who eventually becomes a mutant in future comic books, and I just love this incredible Hulk issue. And it's funny, like the third wheel is actually Wendigo, and it's hilarious about this cover. It's like, hey, what about me? I want to fight too. And
I'm the actual villain here.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, but he gets kicked to the side for a fight between Wolverine and the Hulk, and it's hilarious. But I just love this cover, man. This is one of my favorites of the Bronze Age, and this one is yet to get pressed. I need to get the sucker cracked and pressed, and so I get this thing higher. Like, this is when I start, I don't know, getting back into collecting comic books. Went right after this thing, and it really just affected me. I didn't like Wolverine's mask, but whatever. I mean, it made it better.
He's improved a lot over the years. That's for sure. But yeah, I love that cover too. I consider 180 to be the first appearance of Wolverine, but that's just because I'm a purist. But yeah, can't go wrong with that book. And I knew it had to have been on your list somewhere. Yeah, would have been on my list too. Would have been on my list too if it was in my collection.
Oh, you get a True Believers, man. I still read True Believers to death. You think you're kidding me? Like, those things I don't degrade at all. I was meaning to get like an AF-15 True Believers signed by Stan Lee, but shit happens,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I still read True Believers to death. I don't care, But yes,
I want one in the collection.
You'll get one. I know you will, man. There's people it's always about moments, man. It's always about moments. But yes, 181 first cover appearance of Wolverine, and yeah, that's my number 2.
My number 2 is the yang to your yin. So I was talking about this one with Jean Paul Ace Peter, and he brought up the point that if 181 is Marvel's greatest bronze creation, then this one right here, House of Secrets 92, first Swamp Thing, would be DC's. And this one is just one badass cover.
I love it.
It doesn't have the Swamp Thing in it as kind of we know him today. It's more of just like of a monster story, but definitely. I'm using my favorite word. Definitely. one of the better covers out there in the 1970s. I love it. I just picked this one up. It was going to be my number 1 after some hemming and hawing. I thought, okay, it's very close, but this is my number 2 book, House of Secrets 92.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Bernie Wrightson, man. That is definitely his best cover in my opinion. I mean, like, it's just something about it where I want to put that on my list. I really do, and I love Bernie Wrightson. And it's like I said, everything on on the on our top 10 list, you can't fit them all. That's
exactly. There are so many good books in the Bronze Age to choose from. Hard to choose the right ones.
It's tough, man. I mean, it really disappoints me sometimes. Just going through this just drive me insane, because I know I got books around here where I'm like, I really want to make this one my number one, but it's tough. But I have to be a good parent and saying, if I have to choose not one book, maybe one book to affect them all. And for my number one, without a doubt, it's going to be Giant Size X-Men #1. And of course, you got a lot of firsts in here, and you even have a big second. And Dave Cockrum, of course. And this is such an awesome cover, and it gets duplicated all the time, just almost as much as like Spider-Man 300's cover. You get a lot of the cover swipes from that.
Yeah. And
this one, I just love the fact it's first Colossus, first Nightcrawler, first Storm, first Thunderbird, and it's like, and of course you got Wolverine's second appearance, but this one, is my #1 Bronze Age book, and it probably always go like that. I mean, I have some other books, but I don't know. I mean, you can't please them all in a 10 slot list here. And yeah, this goes as my #1 all day long.
Well, if my top 10 list was including proxies, that would definitely be probably #1 on my list. I don't have it. One day I will, but my top one is also X-Men. X-Men was very dear to me collecting growing up. That was probably the one that I collected the hardest when I was a kid, and this one was always one that I wanted but never could afford or get. But now that I'm an adult, I have it.
Yes,
X-Men 101.
Yes,
and that's the birth of the Phoenix. And again, you want to talk about covers that are homaged. This one has it as well.
Yeah.
Dave Cockrum art, I love it. Just you don't really get into the Phoenix story into this one very much. It's just kind of like gives you a little bit of a taste, but it sets off one of the best runs, story arcs, I guess, in X-Men history, if not comic history.
Absolutely. That's definitely on my I guess you could say honorable mentions list, because that's one of those covers I think is definitely an iconic cover without a doubt, and great work by Dave Cockrum. Hell, I just found my my True Believers edition of that copy in storage like today. And I was like, wow, this is such a cool cover.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and it's also gonna have a great movie coming out.
Yeah.
No, that movie's gonna be terrible.
You think so? I don't know. I still haven't even seen the preview for it. So.
No. I mean, like, I saw the trailers for it, and I'm seeing memes left and right, and I'm like, God, I hope this movie's gonna be good. I'm gonna go see it in theaters. I don't care, but it's just, I want it to be good, but there's so much evidence that's pointing out there that's telling me it's not.
Well, it's the last non-Marvel made X-Men movie that's gonna be, so. Right, they're going over to the House of the Mouse.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't seen a bad Marvel movie yet.
I know. I mean, like, yeah, that's also an opinion. But going to 3 honorable mentions. Yeah, I gotta go with what you were talking about. Definitely, X-Men 101. This one's signed by Claremont. And I love this cover. I got this and another one signed by Claremont somewhere around here. I'm not sure, but this one is just a great cover. It's an amazing one, and I don't think they could. I doubt they'll recreate this in the movie, but this one by Dave Cockrum is an awesome cover, man.
Yeah,
and that's mine for that. But
they sort of did it in the X-Men #2. I think she came out of the water, didn't she?
I don't know.
I seem to remember there being like a flood at the end of the movie. But no, she got drowned at the end of the movie. She didn't come out of the water. So no. Yeah.
No, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, because I was thinking about that part, and I was like, oh, that's right. It was like a tidal wave they were trying to stop, and then she drowned or disappeared or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, X2. Yeah. Weird.
So my one of my honorable mentions here is Iron Fist #1. Again, Claremont Byrne. You're saying like you loved Claremont doing non X-Men titles. This had to have been one of their best together. I think. Anyways, I don't have Marvel Premiere, the first appearance of Iron Fist, but this is as close as I'm going to get for now. And yeah, I had already had Sabretooth on there. I had Heroes for Hire. So this one had to take a back seat to the top 10 list.
No, yeah, I hear you, man. Like, trust me, getting a low grade copy of Iron Fist right now is not going to be a problem for you. Trust me. Like the first appearance of that, it won't be a problem. You'll find that in like easily. You probably get it for a couple bucks. But yeah, going back to what you were talking about, my last honorable mention here, because I'm just going to wrap this one up, is House of Secrets number 92, and that's this lovely copy, which I really wish, I've had this book long enough where I thought maybe I could have gotten this signed by Bernie Wrightson before he died, and it was too late. So it was just such a bummer, but I still love this copy nonetheless, and I'll always be looking forward to getting another copy of this if I could. But this is just a great cover, like you were talking about, and I really enjoyed it. Presents well and everything. But yeah, I'm sure you got another.
I have one more to go. This one, again, my love of the Silver Age, I think, is well documented, and Kirby was a huge part of the Silver Age, and his work on the Demon was as kind of kitschy as the Demon is, like. Just something about the Demon. I'm not a huge DC guy. I like the Demon books though, and Etrigan, just kind of a off the wall creation of the '70s that for me kind of stuck.
Yeah, I actually had that one too. That's a good one too, because like Kirby, I don't know, man. The fact that he was on DC over Marvel, let's kind of tell you something about Marvel, and it's like, man, you guys kind of screwed up. You guys probably could have kept this guy and probably had a lot more over in the Marvel universe with Kirby's, Kirby's tutelage. And I dig you on that one, man. Like the Demon's a cool creation.
And like, yeah, Comic Fan in the chat is saying Kirby was good for DC during the Bronze Age. He absolutely was.
Absolutely.
You have Dark Side. You have the New Gods. That's all going to be made into a movie eventually. Demon, who will not be made into a movie.
No, I hear you. I totally hear you, man. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah, totally. I'm gonna wrap this up, dude. Because before we have another connection drop for some weird reason, I don't know what the hell's going on. Quick final thoughts and shout out. Thank you for for jumping on. But still, to you, sir. Appreciate it. Tell me if you have anything final you want to talk about.
Well, thank you for having me. I have my channel that I do my periodic calls on. Go check it out. Obviously, check out King of the Golden State channel, man. He's got a lot of great books, man. I wish I had like a 10th of the books that you have. I'm always in awe and always in anger. And as soon as we're done on this thing, I'm gonna fume and kick some boxes. How does he have all those great books? Yeah, no, honestly, thank you for having me on the show tonight. It was great. I had a lot of fun. It was good kind of going through my Bronze Age stuff. Just it's something that I don't give an awful lot of thought about because I'm focused on Silver lately. So thank you.
Hey, no problem, man, without a doubt. But for those who don't know, Fourway Flashers on comics, check out his YouTube channel. He's getting up to 400 subscribers. Also, check out his IG page, which I'll leave links in the description once this video is over. And also, check me out. King of the Golden State, YouTube. Also, King of the Golden State on Instagram. And also, if you are all just knowing each other in the chat, follow each other. Give each other a like, comment, subscribe.
There's a lot of great people out there that were in the chat today. Thank you guys for coming out. Comic Fan, Poor Man's Comics, Ray Jr., Rags, 718, Gene Paul Ace Peter.
Pop.comics, I saw there for a second.
Yep.
Contender, Dave Enrique. Yes, hey, glad to have you guys all on. And without a doubt. If you guys are interested, you guys got a top 10 you guys want to talk about, hit me up, King of the Golden State on Instagram. And as usual, I'll talk to you guys later. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace. Later.